Brilliant. And tell us how you know Chris here.
Well, I know Chris because our charity patron Stephen introduced me to Chris, and Chris has been to a few of our events, and yeah, he's just a really great guy, and he's got a good story to tell.
He is a great guy, and you've got quite a deep story, actually, haven't you, Chris?
Yes,
because
I have,
you were in the care system and you witnessed quite some horrific things, really. But can you tell us how you ended up in the care system in the first place?
Yeah, of course. You know, I had a very normal working class upbringing, and one day my dad died of chicken pox, and then overnight, obviously, the blue skies of my happy youth turned an ominous dark grey, and my mum met an abusive man, and social services got involved. I found my solace in going out into the streets, gravitating towards other young men like myself who had suffered that kind of trauma. Got arrested a few times and ended up in a children's home. And that was kind of like, you know, the transition from having a normal, happy lifestyle, you know, over a period of 12 months and end up in the care sector.
It's quick.
Yeah, it was very quick. It was very quick. It wasn't, and I wasn't able to adjust to that kind of environment. You know, I was still grieving over my dad. But going into care, like I said, at first it was quite exciting because it was, you know, I was away from home, seeing my mum cry, mum drinking, my sister was traumatized, she'd met an abusive man. So going into that environment was an escapism.
It seemed safe at first.
Yeah, it seemed, but that's the paradox of a children's home. You know, you're supposed to be safe, yet you're surrounded by danger. And it wasn't until I'd been there for a few weeks, but I actually saw, you know, the iniquities of life unveil itself. And yeah, I was one of the lucky ones. Fortunately for me, I wasn't kind of involved in the abuse. I wasn't that vulnerable. I was quite a tough kid. Yeah. So I was a bit of a liability to them because obviously, you know, they prey on vulnerability. For me, I kept running away. The police kept bringing me back to the care home, and they didn't want that. They wanted that kind of secrecy. They didn't want any attention to the home. But I witnessed a lot of physical abuse, and yeah, I ended up running away. And before long, I lived on the streets for a short period of time.
So how did that, when you witnessed all of those things, because it wasn't just physical abuse, it was other things that you knew
it was
of,
archaic.
all sorts
it was
of stuff.
archaic sexual abuse. I mean, from 1972 to 1996, over 1,000 young people were